Welcome back to Wildlife with Mark and Donna. Today we are climbing 821 steps and hiking to an abandoned mining town. This is Kaymoor Miners Trail in New River Gorge National Park, and it's one of our favorite hikes in West Virginia. In this video, we'll show you the beauty of this hike while teaching you about the long and interesting history of the mine. This short but challenging hike is a whole lot of fun, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we are doing Kaymoor Miners Trail. It's only about 1.5 miles long, but it's extremely strenuous. There's about 1,000 feet of elevation gain in that 1.5 miles, so it's very, very steep. And most of that is on stairs, 821 steps to be exact. So I think we're gonna be exhausted by the end of this one, but it does look like a really cool hike. It takes you down into Kaymoor Mining Town, which was an old mining town. I think there's only ruins remaining. So you kind of get to see what life was like back in the 1800s. And these stairs were actually stairs that people used to use. Where we're standing now is at Kaymoor Top. Some people lived here, some people lived down at the bottom. And so they would use the stairs to get up and down. So we'll be retracing the steps that people have taken since the 1800s, which is pretty cool. Let's get started. The first half mile of the trail is through this really pretty wooded, shaded area. So the first half mile is more like an actual trail before you get to these steps. Super pretty though, really shaded, there's lots of birds chirping. There has been lots of water along the trail, including this huge wall of trickling water, which is beautiful. There are spots of the trail that are a little wet and muddy though, so just kind of be prepared for that. It hasn't been anything too crazy yet. We've been able to kind of go across rocks to keep our feet dry, but just something to keep in mind. We made it to the top of the stairs. As you can see right behind me, there's an original sign reminding the workers to work safely. These were extremely dangerous conditions that people worked in here. Before we head down the stairs though, there's actually some ruins here right at the top, so we're gonna go check those out next. People actually lived all along throughout this hike. People lived at the top where we started, here in the middle, and then also all the way at the bottom. So there's ruins all throughout. Let's go see what we can find over here though, and then we'll head down the stairs.
Kaymoor is what's known as a company town, which essentially means they owned everything, from the houses to the supplies to the tools to the clothing on the miners' back. They would take the money out of the miners' paycheck too, and not much was left after that, so that miners were essentially indentured servants.
Not only did the miners have very long and grueling hours, but it was also extremely dangerous. Right behind me is one of the original safety boards, and at the top it even says it's only been 1 day since the last accident. That kind of gives you an idea how dangerous this job was. Unfortunately, it's quite common for miners to get injured or even killed on the job. So think about that next time you're complaining about your job. There's something so cool about walking next to and through these old ruins, just knowing how many people have come here before, how many people have lived here in the past. I just think that's really fascinating. Over here right behind me, they even have an old rail car. This place is awesome. I think we spent enough time exploring the ruins up here though, so we're gonna head down the stairs next and explore the rest of the town. We're about to start the stairs section. It is 821 steps down. To put that in perspective, that's about equivalent to an 80-story building. So yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a workout. Going down shouldn't be too hard, but going up is gonna be the real challenge. Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's do it.
Let's go!
Whew, we made it to the bottom. That was no joke. That was actually pretty difficult, and that was only going down.
My legs are shaking.
Mine are too,
They
literally.
just started shaking all of a sudden.
Mine have been shaking since I got to the bottom. It's so weird. Yeah, we're gonna go explore around though and see what we can find. right behind me is the ruins of Kaymoor 1 mining plant. Now during the 1800s and 1900s, coal was king in West Virginia, and this was just one of 80 mining operations in the area. However, it was one of the largest. During its peak, over 560 people lived here, and they had everything from a doctor's office, a school, even a movie theater for all the residents here. Now again, everything was owned by the company and people had to pay to live here. It cost about $5 a month for rent, and the workers earned $2.50 per day, but they had to use that to pay for their rent, their food, their supplies, pretty much everything they needed. This particular mine closed down in the 1960s, but fortunately we're still able to walk through the ruins and imagine what life was like back then. We just got done exploring all through the ruins. It was super cool. I would highly recommend this hike, especially if you love history. We're about to head back up though now. I'm not looking forward to these steps.
It's gonna be a doozy.
It's definitely gonna be a doozy. We're gonna set a timer to see how long it takes us.
All right, let's go do this.
Let's go.
Go up, and I have a timer here, a stopwatch. We're gonna get started. See how long it takes us.
That's a lot of stairs. All right, we're about halfway. We took a stop to take a little breather and give Bella some water. My quads and my calves are burning like crazy. Bella's doing great though. I was worried how she would handle the stairs going up, and she's doing fine. She's leaving us behind if anything. Whew. But we're making our way. Half more to go. We made it.
I could see why there's very few people on this trail. It's not an easy hike.
Definitely not.
But worth it. If you're up for a challenge, you gotta put this one down on your list.
For sure. This has been one of my favorite hikes here. Unfortunately, we're not back yet though. We're only at the top of the steps. From here on out, it's still an uphill climb, but I think we got the worst part out of the way at least. All right, when I said we had the hardest part done with, I think I lied. I think this part after the stairs is actually harder. It's a lot steeper. So make sure you keep some energy for after the stairs as well. Getting close.
We made it back. That was no walk in the park.
My favorite part of the hike, seeing the van.
Welcome back to the parking lot.
Good girl. Made it, Bella. I made it back from the hike. It was not easy, but super fun. Definitely recommend it. We're making a nice big salad with some tempeh in it to refuel because we are starving after that. And I think this is gonna end our videos because we're supposed to get a ton of rain starting tonight and then for the next 5 days straight. So I think we're gonna be leaving West Virginia, heading towards Maryland and Delaware next, and then continuing our way up the East Coast. Hopefully you enjoyed coming along. We had a blast. It's been one of our favorite states on the East Coast yet. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys later and stay wild. To really stop and take a break either. I suppose you can always just sit down on the steps themselves.
You have like a bug on your on your nose. Sorry.